Hello and welcome. This is Sigrun, my 2021 Polygon Siskiu D5. Now, I have had all kinds of fun with this bike, and the funny part about it is when I first got it, it was the least well equipped of the Siskiu D range. The 6 and the 7 were both moderately and much better equipped, but I'll be honest, I like the color scheme. Yeah, okay, call me shallow, but there we go. One of the first modifications I made to this bike, though, was to install a dropper seat post. Honestly, I can't imagine riding without one now. The bike came stock with Shimano hydraulic brakes and a Deore 9-speed drivetrain. It was originally 2x9, but I converted it to a 1x9 just for ease of maintenance and just far less complexity. As I said, I've got the DNM air shock, and I've got the dropper post. What else? Oh, one of these days I'm going to get around to putting in a horizontal lever for the dropper. It's a little more convenient. The bike originally came with an SR Suntour XCM coil fork, and I rode that the entire first season that I had this bike. Went absolutely anywhere I wanted to and had no problems whatsoever with it. But of course, I can't leave anything alone once I get my hands on it, so I eventually installed an SR Suntour Epixon air fork. It had a remote lockout, which was kind of handy. But then I want to say late September, early November, I decided I wanted to try something different with this bike. I went with 29s. It came with 27.5. And what I find with the 27.5s, and maybe it's just me, I don't know, but they seem to get hung up on things quite a bit. Granted, the trails in Maine, most of them are pretty darn rooty. That may be half the problem. I don't know. But, yeah. So I had these buck close 29-inch wheels kicking around, doing absolutely nothing but taking up space. And I had these Rapid Robs from Schwalbe. They were also just hanging around, getting dusty. So I decided to give it a try. Now, I will be the first to admit that buckless is not my idea of a top-tier wheel. But here's the thing. I was putting together a 26er for charity, and I had to get some wheels because I'd run out of 26ers. So I got online, I bought some. It was from Amazon, actually. Well, not Amazon itself, but an Amazon seller. So the seller sends me these 29s. Clearly not going to work on a 26-inch bike. And I contacted him, and he said, okay, I'll send you the right size. You can keep these. So I said, thank you very much, and I did. And the problem is, to get a 27.5 fork to work with a 29-inch wheel and tire. Now, there was just barely enough clearance to ride. But I wasn't entirely comfortable because all you gotta do is like pick up one stick of pine cone and your whole day gets ruined. So to accommodate the new wheel set, I went and got an SR Suntour X1. It's a spring fork. It's got a lockout, much like the XCM. It's got a preload adjuster, which I couldn't tell you if that thing works or not. I've never had any appreciable difference with any preload adjuster I've used. And here's the thing. Yeah, it's a spring fork, but that's fine with me. I am nowhere near a professional level rider. I just go out and goof around. And as I said earlier, I did an entire season on the stock XCM. Now, I got this fork directly from the SR Suntour website for $120, which was also a factor, to be completely honest. And apparently, according to them, this fork is a successor to the XCM 27.5 and 29. So the 26 XCM is still, well, it's the XCM. So I've been having all kinds of fun with this bike, and I don't see myself replacing it anytime soon. I mean, it works perfectly well. I still get compliments on its appearance when I'm out on the trails. Okay, yeah, that strokes my ego just a little bit, although I had nothing to do with the paint job other than choosing it in the checkout. But it's a good bike, and I would recommend a Polygon to somebody looking for an entry-level bike. Absolutely. Now, these buckless wheels, I will be the first to admit that these are not high-end wheels. Okay, yeah, they're aluminum, they're double wall, but still. The thing is they were sufficiently good to do this, let's call it an experiment. So before the next riding season hits, I am going to buy a higher quality set of wheels, but you know, for the moment, because there's no trail riding, it's good enough. And sometimes good enough is enough. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Goodbye.